Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast.
Welcome to the Scene Snobs podcast, everybody. We're your hosts. I'm Mick Manhattan, and that is the madman, Casey Plott.
That's me. It's such a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Hey, it's a pleasure to see you too, my friend. I need to make an apology tonight.
Well, please, the floor is yours.
All right. I appreciate it. So anybody listening or watching, I just want to say these last few months have been pretty crazy for me. A lot of anxieties going on, stuff like that, especially in terms of what was going on with the Scene Snobs. And I feel like I've been pushing a little too hard with the Patreon. And although I stand by where we're at with our Patreon, I stand by the perks that we have, things like that. I feel like I've been pushing it too hard, and I appreciate the Snobs Nation too much and to not do this, but it's kind of just been, I've been pushing that. And for me, I've been suffering through this like anxiety of, success with this now that we're in year 4, and I'm kind of looking at it and like, with the ads that we've been doing, things like that, like we're trying to like really bring this business into fruition and to do really well for us. And so that way we can do better for you guys. But I lost focus in that time worrying about all those things. And I forgot for a little while what this is all about, what we've been trying to build this entire time, in that it's community. It's we're trying to build this family, and we've always just wanted to entertain and make people smile. And, so I lost sight of that, just kind of focusing on this business and things like that. And I just wanted to say I'm sorry to the Snob Nation. I should have been focusing on you, not growing something, like cultivating. So I realize it. I'm getting back to it. I apologize to all of you out there who are in the Snobs Nation. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys being a part of this.
Beautifully stated, my friend.
Now let's get to the show where I can put up, we're having casters for a cause.
All right.
Yeah, that's money. No, that was not a joke, and that was not planned. My defense mechanism in my mental health, which we are going to get into a lot tonight, by the way.
Bingo.
And I'll get to that in just a second as well, is that like I bounce right back with a joke. Like that gets me back into the positive. So that's why I did it. So,
and you are not alone. That's how I awkwardly deal with things. Yeah. I love it. Humor is how we live. So it's how we function. So hopefully we do not offend as we continue on into tonight's absurdity. Yeah. Casters for a cause.
Casters for a cause. So that's our charity event. 16-hour live stream. We're going to have great content for you, great shows joining us. We're going to be doing script reading Back to the Future. We're going to be doing a movie trivia battle royale. And one of the biggest things that's going to be happening is that yours truly, Casey as well, and an old friend of ours from our Mystery Elephant radio show days are getting back together for a reunion on the Snob Nation Friday Live morning show. So it's on the YouTube channel. We do it every Friday morning. Hopefully you guys can join in, because you're going to get a very cool taste of some memories. Yeah, there it is. So I knew I cut you off, buddy, but I just wanted to.
No, it was beautiful. It was perfect. It's very exciting, and it's going to be pretty rad to have all of us back together on one screen.
Absolutely. And with all of you joining in all day, and all the great guests and shows that we have joining in, the reason I'm pushing this so hard is because all proceeds that are made through this go directly to the Multiple Sclerosis Association of America. Where the GoFundMe is live now. You can go, we'll put it up. I think it's up everywhere, but you can go check out our social media. And we'll link it to here, and so that way you guys can check it out. But yeah, please join us on Friday, but you can donate now.
Yeah, and it means a lot to both of us. MS is something that's affected a lot of our friends, family, people we've been very close to for most of our lives, and it's a wild disease. So anything we can do and any steps taking towards ending that disease or finding a cure, it would be fantastic. So that's our purpose and that's our hope. And that's what we do it for. So hopefully there's some fun along the way and we get to be goofy and silly and reunite with absurdity. And it's going to be really exciting for that script read because we've got some big things planned.
We do.
So super excited for it.
A lot of that stuff came in. So don't worry.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Okay.
So guys, it's going to be a good time. Let me just tell you. And of course, the night ends with Casey and I and whoever else wants to join in, but we're going to have a good time. But the reason I brought that up is because this Friday and Saturday here in Winchester, Virginia, we have a very special film festival that is garnered towards mental health awareness, and suicide prevention, things like that. It's very cool. In its second year film festival, it's the Horrific Hope Film Festival. It's going to be at the Alamo Winchester. If you guys can get out there and check it out, we're going to have Josh Burkey, who's the director of the film festival, on the show in just a few minutes.
Which is going to be fantastic. Super excited to discuss film festival-like things with Josh.
Well, you never want to do it with me.
Well, no, you're way too deep in it. Anytime we start a discussion about it, you start getting granular with it, and I'm not ready. I'm like, I'm not really sure what that means. Like, you start bringing up different aspects that I'm like, you went too deep. I'm not aware of what you're talking about anymore.
Right before I came on here, I think you saw me. Yeah, you saw me. I was on Sturdy's show.
Yes,
and we were
hanging out with Horror with Sir Sturdy. I was watching as well.
I felt like I was giving a film class for a second there, talking about that movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon, and like I felt like maybe I should just shut up at some point. I'm like, I feel like I'm talking too much. My apologies.
It's a great movie to talk about. Just want to say bye to Jason. Thank you for popping in. Love you, buddy.
I'm about to record Matt Talk. Bye, Jason.
Can't wait to listen to it. We got Sturdy here as well. Super excited.
Hey. I'm sorry I took over your show.
Had a blast chatting with him. He's got an awesome show at 8 p.m. on Thursday nights. Check it out. Please do, because he is a hoot. He currently discussed Creature from the Black Lagoon, and they have a really good take on it. And I love the way you brought it up too, Mick, the universal monsters and their beauty. And I've always seen it as part of the oral tradition. It was the first time that oral tradition was put on screen in a beautiful way, like in a big way. So a way for it to be carried on. So remakes of those I'm good with because it's platinum, it's emblazoned, it's marble. It's part of the structure that will never leave the Acropolis until an inevitable earthquake or volcano. But that's later. So until then, it exists, and it's a wonderful thing, and they're beautiful movies to watch. Creature from the Black Lagoon, I think you and I went back and forth a few times on. I always hated it and loved it because it scared me as a kid. Like, it legit is a scary movie. It's one of the few of that era that's terrifying. Wolfman was a little boring. I was okay with it. I enjoyed it, but it was bah. Dracula gets weird because it's Dracula. So there's a few times where it's like, all right, Bella, let's just move it along. I don't need 25 minutes staring at your face. But I understand it. Yeah, I get it.
So much right now. I know what you're doing. I know you do this every time. So Casey has this weird thing in our friendship where, all right, it was more drinking back in the day when I'd be drinking. If I had too many drinks, Casey would start messing with me by going on a tangent that wouldn't end while I was drunk. And he was just making fun of all the things I liked. So now I don't drink anymore, but sometimes I will have a gummy to help me fall asleep, and he sees it, and now he's picking on me.
I have a thing, man. I'm like a weird shark. I have blood in the water symptom. I just, once it hits, I'm like, ooh. Oh,
I know.
What are you doing there, buddy?
Yeah. You leave me alone. Stop it.
Hey, buddy. Let me tell you about how crappy I think Frankenstein is. And the fact that it has no continuous meaning and actually has no purpose being on film, because at this point, all they're doing is perpetuating unnecessary stereotypes and hurting, I think, innocent villagers.
Okay. So which Dino Hatton are you this week?
I'm just saying, I think that mob mentality is the way to go. We've all missed the mark. And if we just run around with pitchforks and torches and scream and yell and everything we don't like, we attack, we got a way better shot at this.
Casey's like, over 6'5", burn them right.
Nope, they intimidate me. Make sure you light them on fire, or at least chop them down. Like that's
we've been friends for like 12 years, and he's still trying to burn me.
Well, one day I'll stilt you real good.
Oh God! Can't we just do the normal bit, like where we talk shit about country music and then just say their lines, like say their quotes to their songs?
I mean, we could, but I honestly have been cranking some chicks all afternoon while enjoying a nice sit on the porch. I took like 30 minutes and just sat on the porch today, and that was delightful. I watched the sunset. It was so nice.
It was nice.
I haven't done that in a bit.
I don't know why I agreeably said it was nice.
Yeah, because well, mentally you were, and in my heart you were. It was like a Celine Dion moment, but with the chicks.
I almost gave my wife a heart attack today, I think.
Please don't. What?
I didn't mean to. She just was so shocked. So
did you move rapidly from one place to another?
No such luck.
Oh my giddy aunt. And there it is. We've lost him. He's going. I'm in. No, please, because now I'm thinking about it, and I have different ways to express exactly what it looks like when I've seen you run. And there's squid arms is one way. Yes, that somehow don't raise like as a runner. I raise my fists above a certain level over my shoulders, and yet when I watch you run, you never raise your arm above your elbows. Like it's phenomenal. Like,
I'm not Tom Cruise, Casey. Leave me alone.
No, you're like Hasselhoff. We all know it. Your Hoff is hiding, but it's there.
I didn't have a strong run as a child.
I didn't have a strong run. My running was made for hauling things. That's what I meant.
My best run has been Scene Snobs.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right. You've nailed it.
So no, but so I could tell during work she had kind of like a rough day. Mm-hmm. So and because I work in the other room, I was like, you know what, all right. So I was like, how about when you get off, why don't we go for a walk? And we did. We went for a walk.
That's beautiful, buddy.
Yeah, and it was just really nice. And I think she was just shocked at me saying, let's go for a walk, and then actually going. I'm not doing that shit again. Fuck that.
No, you keep doing it. That's the beautiful thing, man. Hit it around like sunset every night. Just a beautiful walk. You got this, bro. It's going to be like your own version of eventually. Oh, I love it. Kathleen, hi, friend.
She
says best at running your mouth. Oh, he is. He's real good at it. You should see him when he beats dead horses. Oh, my Lord. I
can go back to that. We're going back to a lot of reunions this week.
I tell you, that's what's going to happen on Friday, y'all. Out of nowhere, he'll just start the same joke. And the thing is, it'll be funny. And then it'll be less funny. And then progressively unfunny. To the point where then he will say, well, you have to hit it harder and more consistent because they just didn't get the punchline. There was that one night where you legitimately ran the punchline over and over again. Just that's the only thing you would say. Was whatever it was. And it was like, please stop.
Yeah. Wait for that.
Oh, God.
Tune in on Friday if you want to.
Check it out Friday.
I'm just going to lose all moderator capabilities.
It's going to go. All of a sudden, I'll be moderator again. I'll be
just like,
I'll just be back in and be like, all right, folks. Well, let's move it along. Next thing. Hey, how about this?
Hey, you guys heard about that thing at McDonald's, right? We're just talking about global peace.
Yeah, but global peace. But remember when that guy got punched in the face? What?
Terrible. All right, I gotta snap out of it. Let's flip this on because our guest is here. And we're gonna talk to him again. It's the Horrific Hope Film Festival. It is linked down below. Go check it out. But Josh Burkey from Victims and Villains. What's up, man?
Why, hello. How are you, gentlemen?
Welcome to the show.
Doing very well.
Thanks for having me.
To see you.
Yeah.
Great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so no, I was gonna say, tell us a little bit about Victims and Villains, and let's get into the film festival. I want to know more.
Yeah, so Victims and Villains is a Richmond-based nonprofit. We create content similar to you guys, with the hopes of taking pop culture as a vessel for breaking down conversations about things that we're passionate about, fans that we love, but also gearing it to an open conversation for mental health.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Fantastic. Yeah. That's a great way to do it too. I mean, what better way than to get yourself comfortable with something that has been around your whole life, whether it was even a coping mechanism or something that was there for you during a dark time that you can return to. I mean, for me, I always constantly go back to Charmed. Charmed is one of those weird things that I bring up in a weird way because it was one of those, it hit every point of my life, whether I was in the throes of addiction and just praying for the sun to not come up at some weird hour and watching Charmed, a throwback to when I was a kid, getting away from a bad situation. I would turn on that show, and just finding that pop culture thing that you can relate to opens up that conversation, and it's important.
Yeah, 100%. And you guys have been doing this for a while now, and it's fantastic. And please do not compare yourselves to us because you guys are much smarter than us.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I like content creation because I mean we do a variety of things. Like we run a podcast network where we have an anime podcast, a horror podcast, a Nicolas Cage podcast, a general pop culture podcast, and we're toying around with like ideas of like limited series and mini series. But we also do like film reviews. So content as we create content the same way that Scene Snobs does as well.
Yeah, well, you guys do
That's
great
awesome.
work over there, and you guys have been doing it for a long time now. And I appreciate you reaching out to us, so we could promote this because it's a great thing you got going on this weekend. And this is the second year. I know we talked about it a little bit, but so what going past this one, like when you're preparing for it and things like that, where do you plan to go next with this? Like, do you want to kind of like span this out more or sort of thing?
So our ultimate goal with this one, so right now we do it at the Alamo in Winchester. It'll be April 14th and 15th. We got a great lineup for this year. But my goal as the festival director and the president of our organization is to eventually have this to be where we have a north location where this would be the Alamo, kind of like more centric, but eventually evolving into doing something either south or even like a West Coast, East Coast kind of thing, to where you would have like that. And we're right now in the talks of like trying to like find a way to like kind of take the anthem of like support indie film past just the podcast and the film festival and what that looks like. And so we're in the early talks right now of things that I can't really divulge.
Oh yeah.
But we have some great things that we want to plan for in terms of the future. And I think some of the ideas that we have in even next year are going to surprise people in terms of projects that relate to mental health. But for this year in particular, we want the Alamo will always be our home. So we've had a great relationship with them. They're really fantastic and really accommodating, and we're looking for theaters that believe in our mission as much as wanting to do something experimental like Horrific Hope.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking a little bit about the lineup before. Can you expound on it some more and give us a look?
I can. So today that we're airing this with you guys is the 20-year anniversary of Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses.
Nice.
And so this year we're introducing the concept of a legacy picture, or legacy screening. Basically, it's a way to kind of celebrate pop culture, celebrate the medium of film. And we're going to end up our showing a screening of House of a Thousand Corpses this year.
Nice.
But yeah, the lineup this year is great. As far as features go, we wanted something that was diverse from multiple different countries. So we kick off this Friday the 14th, with a U.S. premiere of Searching for Vesmoy, which is a horror mockumentary comedy in the vein of like the Blair Witch would be. It's like I kind of would compare it to like the scary movie version of like Blair Witch.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's coming to us from Norway, and the directors will be live and in person.
That's awesome.
For that one. So yeah, it's a small world. They were really passionate about the film festival and wanted to be here in person. For it, we have a documentary that is going to be exploring the relationship between the Nightmare on Elm Street fandom and mental health. In Fred Heads, the documentary, we have shorts from the U.S., Canada, I'm blanking on like all the names. France, Spain, the UK. We have a lot of really great ones, and this year we kind of like threw away kind of like expectations in terms of like how long a short had to be or like how short a feature could be, and really wanted to jump in and let the artists kind of speak to themselves. But I think whether you're fans of supernatural horror or slashers or documentaries, this is going to be the perfect film festival for you.
Nice, man. Well, that's awesome. And, it's very cool that you're doing this again. So when you're planning your festivals, now this being, going into year 2, did you pick a theme? Like what was sort of your idea going in, changing it from the first year?
Yeah. So the first year I had worked with a lot of, I've done press events and I've covered I've had the pleasure of covering festivals like Fantasia Fest, Salem Horror Fest, Sundance, Genre Blast, Lost Weekends. And I really wanted to kind of just implement the things that I knew and had seen done and those kind of structures. So for this year, the thing that so we didn't have like a set theme for last year. It was just kind of like whatever films we could get that we thought were good, we put on. And deciding a final lineup is a lot harder than anyone tells you. As I'm sure you'll find out, Mick, being the co-director of Skyline now. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Oh, thank you, man. It's been pretty wild. So, any advice you can give me, please?
Yeah, I mean, the best advice that like I've known and would be to like know the audience you're making the festival for. Yeah. I think that's going to dictate a lot. It's going to take a lot of biases out, and it's all going to allow you to really create a bonding moment between you as the director and the audience experiencing the films.
I love that. I love that a lot. Thanks a lot, man. That's awesome.
That's a beautiful thing, and that's definitely what you should be shooting for. I think is to always want to create that bond, and that's especially with what you're putting on with your festival. How have you seen that grow since? I mean, you've got these Norwegian directors that want to come in. Like has there been an awesome kind of like response to this? Are you seeing a lot of positivity?
Yeah, it was really interesting because the first year I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was really kind of terrified. Like I really took a leap of faith, and I was like, all right, like whatever happens kind of thing. And so with the first year, this new year, to answer your question, Mick, because I think I circled around it. This year's kind of like common theme is overcoming trauma. A lot of our films, for some reason, this year had to deal with overcoming trauma or like what trauma responses look like, and it was just kind of a coincidence. It wasn't something I set out doing, but I'm glad it ended up being that way. But to answer your question, one of the things that, I think it was word of mouth from last year. but I think also this year it was just about like making connections and going to like meet filmmakers at Ground Zero on Twitter and Facebook, and really doing research and saying, hey, like I found your film on Twitter, or I was searching through Indiegogo or Kickstarter and I came across your film. I think we would be a perfect candidate for you. I'd like for you to submit your film here. And that's actually how Bloody Disgusting ran an article on our two of our films that are going to kick off our Saturday block. And I reached out to the filmmakers over Twitter and was like, hey, we're an organization that puts on this. We would love to have your film here if this is something that would interest you. Here's a little bit more information. And I fell in love with both films, Fred Heads and Wait For It. So really, really this year like it blows my mind, like thinking about how good our films are.
That's so great.
Exciting. That's so rad. Like, I mean, and that's cool because I'll be able to make it Saturday. So
yes. Yeah, I really want to see the Fred Heads doc. I've been waiting for that, waiting to see that one for a long time. Like that's been a lot of talk about it. So that's going to be cool.
The Fred Heads, at least the co-director, I think there are talks of like other cast and crew coming, but the Fred Heads, at least some of the people will be making an appearance in person that day. So
nice. Damn, that's so cool, man. I'm so happy for you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's great to see that growth, man. That's what you want, especially like you said, gearing towards that community. You're going to build towards that community, and what better way than something we've all dealt with, and what better avenue? I mean, think about the whole point of Final Girls, or everyone who overcomes the victory in a horror movie. You're facing your fear. You're facing something that you have to rise to the level of, and what a beautiful way to do that, and to open a film festival to connect everyone that way is brilliant.
And that, Jamie Lee got to do it twice more.
Yeah, we were. I was really lucky to kind of get to know some of the groups that the people that put on the groups rather, and then the groups subsequently. But like Psycho Cinema and Film Club that Andy and Faye run there, and Steve as well. Like just getting to know them as like individuals and getting to collaborate with them. When we kicked off our podcast network, one of the first spinoffs we did was a horror podcast that I co-host called Abyss Gazing, and Faye actually ended up being our very first guest. Nice. Because the Alamo, for if it wasn't for Psycho Cinema, I never would have met my co-host on that show. So it's like the Alamo, like getting to know the Psycho Cinema and Film Club and a lot of the people that attend there regularly. I think I did it first where I got to know the audience before we started this. So I feel like kind of just was a natural extension.
Nice. That's very cool, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So get down there, grab your tickets from, on Alamo's app and stuff, but for sure. So man, tell us a little bit about what you got going on with the shows recently. Anything you're looking forward to reviewing or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a laundry list of movie reviews that I'm actually working on right now of screeners. And I just actually we're gonna be following up once this is all over with some coverage of Salem Horror Fest, which is a great, truly terrific festival. But yeah, in terms of that stuff right now on the podcast front, we are kind of rebooting the flagship Victims and Villains that just kind of started everything. We're in the process of kind of deciding what that looks like now. Now that we've kind of splintered off into all of these other podcasts, and it's kind of like, is there really a need for this? And if we do bring it back, the idea is kind of to be like telling more heartfelt stories about like people kind of talking about overcoming addiction or trauma or why they were suicidal but aren't anymore. Kind of telling these like more intimate stories. But right now, our anime podcast is on hiatus because we practice what we preach, and the hosts of that show are currently focusing on their own mental health. The gentleman that started the Bisgazing, our horror podcast, recently stepped down to focus on his mental health. So I have a great Phil and co-host, and we're currently going through the Evil Dead movies in anticipation for Evil Dead Rise.
Yes.
So if you guys are fans of that, it's a Bisgazing, a horror podcast, and our Nicolas Cage podcast is going to be returning within the next week or two to talk about Renfield. And then we also do a bi-weekly pop culture show called Brilliant But Lazy that just put out our Dungeons and Dragons review. That is the only show right now that is not currently hosted by myself. So Josh and Alan do a great job on that one, and then we all kind of rotate when it comes to the Patreon content. So yeah,
smart way to do it.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Share the love.
I mean, I appreciate you coming by today and talking about the film festival and stuff. And so when does it officially kick off on Friday?
Yeah, so I guess I will clarify this for any interested parties. The Alamo app, if you go on there, and it will say that it is only Saturday. It will kick off. It does kick off Friday. It kicks off Friday night at 9 p.m. And if you guys follow Horrific Hope on Facebook, we may or may not have a surprise for people that are badge holders. We're kind of working out the final details right now with the Alamo about if we can announce that or if it's even going to happen. So go follow us just in case it does happen. Yeah, so then we start at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and we will be going all the way until midnight on Sunday.
All right, man.
Good deal.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I wish you all the best, man, with it, and you're doing great stuff, and
Thank you.
Mental health awareness is so important, and I love the fact that you guys put so much emphasis and care into it.
Yeah, I think that everyone deserves to be reminded of their value, because I think in a growing world that just seems too toxic, that wants to strip down that value, we want to be reminiscent, and we want to be the reminders and the light in the dark, where people understand that they have value and worth despite what the general consensus might say otherwise.
Yeah,
that's beautiful, man. Absolutely agree with that sentiment. So
you.
Excited to see you Saturday.
Yeah. Josh, thank you again so much, man. Guys, go check out everything. The link is down below. You can go donate. You can, check it out if you're in town and stuff, get tickets and over at Alamo. It's just going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and I would hurry up on tickets, because talking to the Alamo today, I think there are 10 tickets left until we sell out. So
good to know. Gonna work on that now.
All right, brother.
So
Josh,
join us.
Thank you again.
Yeah,
Josh, appreciate you, buddy.
Yep, you guys have a great night. Thank you.
You as well.
Bye.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think time slowed down a little bit on that.
Oh, you all right, buddy? Did you get sucked into a warp?
I was just like, how long have we been here?
Well, I started thinking about like all the different movies that all of a sudden with the mental health bit, and I'm like, wait a minute, and my brain went off on this tangent about, of course, horror movies are perfect for that, because you deal with your trauma, you have to face your trauma, and then you have to beat your trauma.
Or
so wonder why we love those so much, and why do I love Maximum Overdrive so much? Obviously, it's my traumatic childhood with Emilio Estevez.
What?
What a whole other story. We'll get into that later.
How did that story never
come up?
Work
really messed up. All right. It messed me up. I wasn't sure if I should be a garbage man. It caused many thoughts. And
where are you going to go, dude? It's 9:30. We're done. We have like one more bit after this, and we still have a half hour to fill. Tell the stories, God damn it.
I mean, they're all made up, so I'm sure I could just keep going.
I don't care where you go with it then. You could tell the entire story of the movie Elizabethtown and just put yourself in Orlando Bloom's place. And I bet you people would buy it.
All right, so the real reason I can't deal with Maximum Overdrive is after I won the chair dancing championship in 1981, I wound up in a roadside diner because there was no other place to go. The place was called Mel's, all right? And it was somewhere, I believe, in Nucketsville, Pennsylvania. So I'm out here in Nucketsville, and it's a one-stop shop. There's the diner and a gas station combined. All right, which is a weird thing. I'm not used to this. Apparently, they're called truck stops. I've never been to a truck stop, nor do I ever want to go to one again. The reason being, I went to this truck stop when I had myself a chicken sandwich, a fried chicken sandwich. I figured a fried chicken sandwich probably was a safe thing to have at a truck stop. Until you realize they hadn't changed the grease since about 17 years prior when they first installed the system. And my friend, I've never vomited harder. Or in any other direction, in every other direction. I was actually trying to hit on a young lady, the waitress at the time, and I managed to puke all over her. And then I vomited on the young man in front of me. It was not a young man, it was a child. In fact, it was a 4-year-old, and they cried, they screamed. It was terrible. I was racing out to leave, and then they started chasing me down because I had received my food but not paid yet. So as I continued to race down the street, hurling at a vomitous rate, that just was painful, by the way. I mean, this is causing damage to my insides. And especially back in this day, we didn't have your antacids the way you do nowadays. You kids have it lucky. So I'm out there just hurling away, right? And I'm trying to flag someone down to please save me. And
I know you want me to stop this so bad.
But a massive Mack truck. All right, it's got a Mack logo, the M-A-C-K. You can't miss the bulldog. It's coming right at you. Tell you what, when the bulldog stares at you at 42 miles an hour as you're hurling your guts out from some chicken sandwich named Mel's, guess what? The last thing you want to see is a movie based on exactly that. Hence why Maximum Overdrive is horrifying.
I love when you do that. I don't even care. I like everybody who's listening to this later on, or everybody who's watching later on. You can say like, "Why does he let him go so long?" Because you just don't get it. That's fourth dimensional comedy right there.
I love all you guys. Plus, we got folk here, man. David's here. It's nice to see David. What's up, buddy? Hi, buddy. Yes,
Kathleen, I meant to acknowledge. She probably thinks I'm such a dick. I meant to acknowledge this before. I know you weren't, and not my superior. I'm not superior, but
and George G3, love that. Good to see you, chicken. What's up, buddy? The double G3.
Loving it. You let him go. You just gotta let him go. You gotta let Casey roll when he's on that, because
sometimes
we all have our rants.
Yeah,
mine are usually angry and incoherent.
Yes.
And he lets me go.
Absolutely.
So when Casey completely avoids like the actual
reality
issue,
like any actual anything you bring up to me, I will find a way to circumnavigate the globe. I will Magellan the crap out of this. All right, I will find a way around.
Dude, every time I think about you on those rants, it reminds me of the time I trolled that girl into believing that Jurassic Park was real.
Oh my God, that was so bad. That was like...
It was the most epic troll of all time, and it took so many people that were so willing to do it. Oh my God. Oh my God, Casey.
Well,
Casey.
Okay. It was a good troll.
It was
all right, look,
3 days long, over 450 comments, and everyone played along. Every single person played along.
How could we not? It was too good. She was so mad about Steven Spielberg killing Triceratops. It was the most at first I was reading this can't be real. This is not an actual thing. Like someone has to put a newspaper in front of this girl's face. Say even a book. How about just an internet page? She is on the internet scrolling and being serious about this, and at no point did she ever even bother looking up Jurassic Park, Steven Spielberg, dude with dinosaurs.
No,
I don't know.
She
plaid
knew about
shirt
it
guy with dinosaurs.
No, she knew about it because we actually at one point were just going to give up, but we were messing with her. And one guy goes, I feel like I've seen this in a movie somewhere. And she goes, you have Jurassic Park. And then other guys were chiming in and saying, well, if you've seen Jurassic Park, how come you don't understand why we have to hunt the dinosaurs? And she went right back,
right back into it. She was fighting hard. At some point, I thought it was no longer a troll, that the troll had in fact reversed and we were being trolled. But then her very next comment made it very clear that in fact, no, we were still maintaining.
And that happened so many. So here's how I imagine. Now, Casey gave you the good rendition of how this all worked. Now you're going to get the dream fantasy scape here. Here's how it goes. So I put this thing up. This girl goes, we got into the whole thing. We talked about it, but here's where it gets interesting.
Now, let's just give context. This was based around the time of Harambe. This is when we're dealing with poachers. The poacher thing was like really getting hot, and it was all over social media, and everyone was always just biting on anything. They were attacking everything, and it became a bit absurd. Yeah, as most things do on the socials.
So absurd. You're absolutely right. And that's why I enjoyed it so much.
It was so much. It was so much.
Casey, I went to bed 2 nights in a row and woke up the next day after each of those nights and found that it was still going on.
With a huge erection.
That morning wood was so delightful.
It was dense. It was like a redwood. It was aged and experienced and never ending.
Yes, it was. No, okay, so but the fact that it kept going on, and at the end, after it's like I'm telling you, it's over 450 comments, and 3 days later, and now I'm not talking like heavy into the day. The last day was like
this is well into, like, we were approaching 80 hours. Like, it was getting there.
We were all at this point like, just stop.
Oh no, it became unfun. Like I remember bowing out in day 2. Like, well, now isn't it just punching a kid? Isn't it essentially being violent to someone who cannot handle or accept violence? Like, you did. Yeah.
I didn't keep it going. I let it go. I kept it going for a little while, but I didn't keep it going. At last, I was like, this is too sad.
When we reached that point, we all just went, enough. But
there were some who did not, and they kept it going. And it went through that last day, and it was just like, oh my God. And I was finally like, I need to just tell her. And then she commented, and she goes, you guys are assholes, blah, blah, blah. And like scathing comment. We're like, we probably deserve that.
Oh no, she was brutal to us, and rightfully so. I mean, you can't. It's a picture of Steven Spielberg with a Triceratops. Like, I just like the whole time. I'm like, how are you in Jurassic Park?
The only Triceratops you see in Jurassic Park is that one. It's on its side. That's the way you see it. That is how you see it in that movie. So when you come at me, you know what? I don't feel bad. No, I don't feel bad at all that she got trolled for 3 days straight. Because you know what? It's true. If you see and you quoted that movie, you said that movie. You said it in the comments. So I'm even less upset about it. I don't care. I hope you just got trolled on some other weird shit too. Somebody showed you Land of the Lost, and now all of a sudden you think you're Captain Kirk with Gorn.
She freaks out over phoenixes. She's like, you just let him burn. You just let the bird burn and become ash.
I'm so mad about that. It's the same. Even if you don't know who Steven Spielberg is, you've seen Jurassic Park. You've seen that fucking Triceratops.
You don't even see his face. You know, like, well, how about dinosaurs don't exist? Like, they did it one time.
All right. I was like,
how about you guys are so, like, you're so 1992. I'm going back to like 1.6 million years ago. Around that time, 1.6 BCE, let's say. No dinos. So we're good. So the dinosaurs are gone. So they don't, like, exist. Like, there was a time when they roamed the earth and this was their domain. And then asteroids. And guess what? They died because
Listen, I know
space.
that. I know that. You don't have to explain it to me. I may not have known that when I started talking, but I did realize it real fast.
Like, you're still defending the point like it's a white rhino. Like, there's only one left. It's like, nope, we're a bit off that. That was an entire period of about 36 million years ago. So,
oh my god, there was that one.
I knew outside.
I knew those comments were too much when we started photoshopping pictures. Like, we made a map of the preserve, but it was actually Jurassic Park.
You put the straight up Island Nublar in there, man. It was ridiculous.
Some posted pictures of protests.
Yep. It legitimately put up, please stop hurting Triceratops. It was like people with picket signs. It was deep. Yep. Like, naturally, we have Stegosaurus just cruising around DC. In fact, National Mall had an ankylosaur the other day. No, they didn't. That's not real. Folks, please don't think that's real.
Oh my god.
I wish it were real. I wish we were dino riders. I would totally have a Stegosaurus if we were dino riders.
Well, on the other end of this, I don't know why it always comes down to dinosaurs. Remember when I left that date because she said she didn't believe in dinosaurs?
Oh my god, I do. Oh my god, yes.
I just left.
You left. That was the greatest story ever. Was that a garage night? I think that was a garage night. I feel like you came back to the garage.
I don't remember. Like, it was a garage night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go on this date. I walk in with her. Like, we had like we spent like the day together.
Beautiful girl, by the way.
Beautiful
really
girl.
Nice, just fun, sweet girl. Sweetheart.
But there's only so many things I can handle in the human condition. And that is stupidity is not one of them. So we go and we sit down for dinner. We're talking. I don't even know how dinosaurs came up. But because she was something about digging or something like that. She was
you were making like a joke about how deep your bone would go.
No,
and you hit her fossil or something like that. No, I get it. What? Oh, right, first stage.
One night stands don't count as first dates.
It was issue 0 on Free Comic Book Day. They weren't actual first dates.
Oh my god! So that's what we need to call it. That's what we need to coin.
That's what it is
now. Is issue 0. If you go on a date with somebody and sleep with them and then never talk to them again, issue 0.
Free Comic Book Day.
I love that. I'm getting those shirts made up now.
Thanks, buddy.
Issue 0, Love Connection.
Issue 0, Love Connection. Oh, and I'm Chuck Woolery at 2 and 2.
I'm gonna have a nightstand next to like one nightstand, I don't know, whatever. No. It's a work in progress.
It's a joke. We'll get there. The joke is there. We can matriculate perfectly.
Issue 0. I want this hashtagged.
Hashtag issue 0.
But not the number 0. You got to spell it out.
Yeah, ZERO, because it's way cooler. And we have it, and the UK doesn't, because they have Z, and that's dumb.
I'm gonna add to it. That was good. That was really funny. But I my brain is like fluttering now because now I'm thinking about all the things.
And dinosaurs.
If we're gonna call it issue 0, that type of date, then there should be a key word where maybe at some point in the date, you know how like sometimes you go out with somebody and it's like you're not clicking, this sucks, but you really want to bang, sort of thing. Yeah, that we'll call it a Free Comic Book Day. That's when like they look at each other and they're like Free Comic Book Day, and they know it's gonna be a one night stand. Yeah. Oh my god, we're gonna regulate sexuality and make it normal again.
I don't really want to regulate anything. I want everyone to embrace their sexuality, be happy, and be comfortable.
We're gonna make it regular, like normal.
Yeah, of course it's normal. We're all humans. We have needs and pheromones and things. It's science.
It's our hit daddy phases that are gonna make the phrases.
Of course. Yes, because all of the kids will be zipping around going, hey, want a free comic book day with me, babe? Like, that's a thing.
Dude, if it becomes a thing, come on. Come on.
Look, straight up, like, nah, like, it just have kids rolling around like, it wasn't serious. They were just an issue 0.
CTA aside, I've popularized a lot of things.
Fair?
In culture.
Naturally. Yes.
The pop kind.
Like we fixed it like pop-up video fixed the ability to learn things during music videos or not masturbate to a Spice Girls video. It still didn't happen.
I used to get so mad at pop-up video because I was like, I'm not at a library. Go away.
Don't tell me things. I don't want to be taught right now. I wish for entertainment.
No.
I want to Nero the hell out of this.
Listen, I can't be 100% sure on this, but I'm 99.99999% sure.
Swing for the fences, my friend.
That I popularized.
Yes, you popularized. I'm down for that. Yep,
I
popularized.
I can't say no. Now you're messing me up.
No, because that's the way you're supposed to say it. You're supposed to say you popularized. I don't see why this is hard.
I can't.
You popularized it. Just try it. Believe in yourself.
I give up. I don't care. I'm not telling the story.
No, quit. You popularized it.
You shut up, you jerk. Why are you getting so mad at me? Leave me alone.
You know what, Mick? I got a lot of things in my life.
Yeah.
One of the best ones is you. Secondly, I want you to fix a movie for me.
Oh, what do you got?
I have a movie that somehow has worked its way into the weirdness of my brain hole. Before I do this, I do want to say, Kathleen, I love you. I see you, girl. The crocheted ankylosaurus, I want to see it. John, stupidity is incredibly difficult to deal with because there are so many of them out there. David, Glenn Close pretty much wins most things.
She doesn't want a free comic book day.
She does. She's not down with free comic book day. But at least you can find that out early. Oh, there, Deadpool, Dad.
I could get dating advice. I think Casey can attest. I'm pretty good.
Oh, no, he'll give you dating advice and like hookup advice that's phenomenal. And I'm the person who will give you breakup advice. So
no self-deprecating.
I'm not. Talk Hawaiian. That's rude.
I don't know. I'm doing that. John asked me if I remember pop-up video. My blank stare just made him feel really old. Yeah, it made me feel really old too.
Yeah, great. No, that's 3 of us.
I'm intrigued with brain holes.
Okay. Like brain holes, as in like a whole brain or brain? Because that definitely says you're intrigued by whole brains.
Yeah, wait. I didn't read that right.
Double G3 is intrigued by brain holes.
Brain holes. Like a whole brain or
like a whole brain. No, he's down with like the entire brain.
It doesn't say whole. It's pluralized. I imagine for a reason.
So he like lots of brains. See, which is great because some people keep them in jars, and that's totally cool. Please never take mine. I am a fan of brain holes, like the things that are inside your brain that creates the pockets that then all of a sudden things link together for no darn reason and they make no sense, but logically make jokes, right? Yeah, David gets it like Swiss cheese. Ecstasy calls is that. Don't do ecstasy, kids. So with all of that out of the way, Mick, I've got a movie for you.
What's the matter with you?
I'm the madman and I'm on a roll. So
touche.
The movie I would love for you to fix for me is a Nicolas Cage classic. It's one that I have loved and I went and saw live in Le Theatre, which was pretty dope back in the day. You remember at the Manassas Cinemas.
Oh.
Yeah, great place. So back in 2007, there was this fantastic little flick, which ties in to our delightful discussion from earlier, in fact, because Josh brought up they have a Nick Cage podcast, and Renfield is coming out soon, which I'm super excited to see Renfield. If nothing else, for Nicholas Hoult actually playing the titular character, Renfield. So that'll be pretty fantastic. And we get Nick Cage as Dracul, the Lord of the Night, the most evil, blood-sucking monster we've ever known in our lives. The OG big guy that Gary Oldman originally crushed the role of. We get the follow-up in Nick Cage. So, my friend, to me, there's a movie that requires fixing. There's a movie I need to hear you tear apart and be fantastic with this flick. Can you please fix Nick Cage's 2007 A Ghost Rider?
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, buddy, because this is a movie I wanted to love, and I still want to love it, and I can't.
Yes, I think I can. I've been giving this movie a lot of thought for many years because, okay, a little bit of backstory because we were getting into the Nick Cage. Nick Cage is my favorite actor. And people who look at me funny when I say that, I don't understand why. Because you can give me any other actor today who is acting, and I can tell you why Nick Cage is better than them. Casey, throw out an actor for me.
At this very moment, let's go Alden Ehrenreich.
Give me another actor I know. Come on.
Ewan McGregor.
I love you, McGregor. All right, but true. God, that was such a hard one. This is a close one, but okay, that's a good point. It's a good point. Still, every time I watch Ewan McGregor on screen, amazing. He gets lost in the character. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. It's one of my favorite actors as well. But Nick Cage encompasses every role. You cannot watch a single Nick Cage movie and find a similar role in any of them.
What about him versus Sean Connery?
Yeah, I mean, Stanley Goodspeed wasn't anything else.
Right? You only got one Stanley Goodspeed. You have a million Sean Connerys playing said character.
Yep.
Boom.
So, boom. Right there. That's what got me into the fact that this movie, with Nicolas Cage, in my opinion, being probably the best working actor today, because he gets lost. True actor, not movie star actor.
Mm-hmm. No, agreed.
Just in case anybody's listening, like you're an idiot. I may still be, but I have points. And this point is Ghost Rider. Even the sequel, I can defend. Ghost Rider is the only Nick Cage movie I can defend. And I've seen Vampires Kiss, man.
Which is true. And that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Although I did like that. Wasn't it Vampires Embrace? Nope, that's the Alyssa Milano one. Oh, bringing it back. What's up, Kathleen? I see you, girl.
What'd you say?
Way back when she had mentioned the Alyssa Milano was the only reason I watched Charmed.
Oh, you were bringing
and then
it back.
I bring it back to Vampires Embrace.
God damn it, I ruined everything.
It's okay, but in the most beautiful way. And you don't ruin anything, you enhance it.
I'm like that. I ruin things in the way that's like, oh man, we're in the woods. We gotta build a fire. Let's collect sticks. And I knock down a tree and break everything.
Let's burn this. No, totally valid. Hey guys, we have to be quiet. Crunch, boom, boom, smash, boom, jeesh. All right, guys, I found a path. Oh no. Like there are places that I want you in horror movies, Mick. If we're going down like an old, like a wrong turn or some sort of hills in the Appalachia, that's not a place. That's not one of them. There's a lot of places. That's not one of them. Although, if we're in Washington State, I'm down because you could be Sasquatch. So let's do this.
All right. See, Casey's getting on that jazz again, where he's making fun of anybody over 6'5".
I'm not making fun of you. I'm stating that you all have had pictures taken of yourselves and treated as weirdos. So I'm going with the natural flow of 1915. All right. I'm just
Little known fact, though, the only recorded foot mold of Bigfoot that they ever had is only 13 inches, and I'm 18 inches. So
I'm a 13. Oh man, those people were tiny.
Well, look at you, Littlefoot.
Right? Oh, we folk over here. You know what's really weird is walking through medieval castles and being like, oh, this is around in the 1300s. Everyone duck. Like they're all very tiny.
And FYI, everybody who's listening, and if you're watching this segment on the Did I Fix short that we put out on our YouTube page, just understand I'm leaving all this stuff in between Nick Cage talk. I'm not editing any of it. So you have to listen to all of it until I get to me fixing Ghost Rider, which is coming up in a few seconds.
Which is great, but I'm glad you're doing that. And also, let us not forget that will be no removal. I will insist upon one point. This is the only point, one of the few times I will do this during your Fix It. You must keep Karen Carpenter in there.
Oh,
it's one of the only highlights of the whole movie. It's one of the highlights of the whole movie is him singing the Carpenters because it's beautiful music.
Fine, I'll keep.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's 2007. I can get away with that one. So,
don't you remember you told me to love me, baby?
We should start only be like this. Did I fix? We should start it where it's like, okay, fix this movie, but only with the technology of that day.
Which is perfect because all you need is a hi-fi stereo and you're good to go.
There you go. No, but with Ghost Rider, it's actually quite a few simple fixes. One, all flashbacks have to go. One of the worst aspects of that movie is the fact that they will flash back to something that was said 3 minutes ago. Right back to it to remind you, and it's like, do you think we're the dumbest human beings on the planet? Do you think we can't remember 3 minutes ago?
That's so true. I hate flashbacks from a movie within the movie. I'm like, stop it. We saw this.
Oh my God. And then when you finally get to the end and it flashes back to the beginning, and you're like, what are you doing? Oh, well, so that I'd get rid of all those.
Okay.
Then you got to get rid of the Western Ghost Rider, which cool, but it ain't for the first one.
No, that's fair.
Stop the whole Western theme thing.
Okay.
I would have made it more in the line with of Constantine. Almost like if you thought about it as a story, this would be Johnny Blaze's journey, his beginning journey, and then we might see him as like a Constantine-like character in that setting. You know what I mean? So
maybe we get through absolutely. So we get through Johnny Blaze actually being the spirit of vengeance for a little bit, and then realizing, I don't want to be the spirit of vengeance, and then fighting back and becoming the Ghost Rider. Okay, yeah. I love that already. Yeah. So, what else you got?
And I'm perfectly fine. Wes Bentley, I didn't think did a bad job. It was just the whole boy band's, demon thing that had going on that was just ridiculous. And it was a little too clean, visual effects of the time. It was just a little odd, but you got to let it go, especially if it goes with the times, and what they had. So with all of that, the story's not bad at its core. You open up at the beginning with his father and everything and how he got turned into it. I'd make it a little grittier, a little more like Constantine again, like that tone, and it's just his opening Daredevil, like that. And then like he, sells his soul. So getting into all of that, like I would keep the girlfriend in there. You can even keep Eva Mendes. I didn't think she was bad. I just didn't think it was a great fit. I didn't think there was a lot of chemistry there.
Okay, so that was a big point for me. And this is a huge one for me, is I love Eva Mendes as an actress. She's done a fantastic job in most of her work. In this one, it's not her, it's a them issue. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't have a them thing. They did in the beginning, which kind of was awesome. But for some reason, midway through that movie, like they just, I don't know if they filmed it differently, if they're due to the how they may have grown together later in filming, but something about that second half of the movie didn't feel as worthwhile as it's supposed to. The stakes weren't high enough. So what else you got?
Well, for one, I would say to add to that, what you're saying, you got to remember too, she was like, what, 24, 25 when that movie came out? And he was 40.
Oh, no, look, absolutely. It's an uncomfortable distance in age to make that leap.
Yeah, but no also they're trying to sell it as they grew up together.
Right.
And it's like, that doesn't really work, man. Like you need I would have gotten like a Maria Bello of the time, something like that. Like, you know, a little bit closer to the age.
Yeah.
Adds a
Monica
little bit
Bellucci.
Well, no, I would not. That would be that would be a terrible choice. I mean, she's an amazing actress, but
they already had Captain Corelli's mandolin. We don't need any more of this. All right, we're moving along already.
You kicked me in the teeth on that one.
Sorry, it just felt right. So I automatically thought of Monica Bellucci from whatever that stupid movie with Clive Owen is. The one where it's like the live action Looney Tunes with guns. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Monica Bellucci just played Jesus's mom 2 years before that in Passion of the Christ.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh,
so now you're aging up. Now you're saying they grew up together, and it's like Faye Dunaway.
Yeah, they definitely grew up together. One is dealing with an alcohol problem. The other one has a hip issue. So obviously they're pretty similar. You know, that's right on par.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, I mean, I think the best fix for this, as I talk my head off here, you get rid of all that stuff. You make it a little grittier. You keep Nick Cage. You can even keep the Karen Carpenter scene. I would recast the friend role, even though I love Donald Logue. I just didn't think he had good chemistry with him either. And I thought he was out of his element. He, New York guy playing sort of like I guess coming off like a hillbilly or redneck vibe type.
Yeah.
And he still seems younger than Nick Cage. So like all of it didn't really mesh well. So like I would age up a lot of the supporting cast if you're going to keep Cage to where his level was at that point. Mm-hmm. Then I would probably, if you're going to do anything, go back to the beginning with the father and how that kind of planned out. And then when you jump forward to where he's a daredevil, he's been the Ghost Rider for a while.
Yes.
And if you're going to do flashbacks to anything, flashbacks to his change.
Boom. I love it.
And so he's been the Ghost Rider for a while, and he's going on and on. And now he's been fighting back. Like he had collected souls for so long. Mm-hmm. Now he's kind of broken away. And that's where the turmoil comes in. That's why it's almost like a Percy Jackson. In my mind, it's like a Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief sort of thing where he's sending the worst demons after him to, almost, just because like that
call the herd in a way.
Yeah, like get the herd going and have them do it. And so like now he's on the hunt as the Ghost Rider, and it just gets into that. Yeah. So like, and again with that tone of Constantine and that look,
and that way he can play a young 35 or a strong 38 with his weird sort of like Puerto Rican Beetlejuice look.
Jesus Christ. But but if you take him and now he's a daredevil by day when he's doing his thing, and that's because he's always on the move, going from show to show, and that's what he needs to be as the Ghost Rider. I
dig that. I think that works. I think honestly, I can say the things you did, the aging up was probably the biggest get for me. You definitely nailed it on that, because I think the chemistry was an issue due to the age, and Sam Elliott somehow made more sense to be closer to Nick Cage's age than anyone else did.
Yeah.
So,
and even if you add that element of like she's the reporter and like now she's like trying to figure out the Ghost Rider and who he is, you do that now, but his friend has been chasing the Ghost Rider down. She's been a serious journalist for a while, and that's how they come back together again, is that she's finally chased the Ghost Rider down in connection with him.
Yeah. I like that.
Bringing her back in that way,
Yeah. My friend, I believe you just fixed 2007's Nicolas Cage, The Ghost Rider.
Well, thank you, sir.
Absolutely, sir. Which I'm excited to see Renfield, which will have to do with the Senor de la Cage. So stoked to see his take on this movie and see how this one plays out.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. So, we will be checking that out, and I'll be having a review for you on Thursday, unless I can coax Casey out too. But we will figure it out. But guys, one more thing I just want to say. A couple more things if I can before Casey does the sign off. is we are going to bring. I've been thinking about this long and hard. You heard my apology in the beginning, and part of the reasons in that change that I want to make is we got to bring the Scene Snobs podcast back out. It's not going behind the Patreon. We have great shows on Patreon. We have Warp Factor Fiction. We have the Showcase coming back. We have things that are going to be on our Patreon that we truly believe are worth those perks.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we offer other things too, movie news, updates, rumors, stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are enjoying them. But the thing was with the Scene Snobs podcast, this is for everybody. We love having everybody involved. We have a good time doing this show. I get to do it with my best friend every week, and it's just truly an amazing time. So I want to share in that every week with you guys. Hopefully you'll still join in. And, you know, again, thank you if you support the Patreon. Thank you if you want to join in or anything. But yeah, we're bringing this back out. And another thing I want to talk about is Casters for a Cause real quick again. Again, this Friday. We're starting at 7 a.m. We have so many great things in store for you. Please join in. Please donate to this great cause. All proceeds go to Multiple Sclerosis Association of America. And, you know, we can't wait for you guys to watch it and raise them some money and just have a really good time with it. So, Casey.
Yes, sir.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, buddy.
Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. I want to say that I appreciate it as always. And we are super excited to be coming out from behind the paywall. But it has meant so much, as always, to be able to have the conversations with you all who get to pop up in here. Kathleen, David, John, George D3. Love all y'all. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Chicken, AJ, everybody who's out there. Radar when you're out there. We love you guys. Y'all are fantastic. And hopefully we continue bringing you amazing content and bringing a little ray of sunshine and silliness and happy and hopefully a few laughs along the way. So, my friends, as always, I appreciate you. I'm grateful for this time together. My best friend, all of you beautiful people out there, thank you. And remember to please be kind to yourselves and be kind to each other.
Night, everybody.